Since the first women donned a Marine Corps uniform, female Marines have enriched our Corps history and enhanced our combat capability. As opportunities to serve have increased, each subsequent generation of females in the Corps has stepped up to the challenge, paving new roads for future generations to follow.
Women became part of the active duty Marine Corps on June 12, 1948, when Congress passed the Women's Armed Services Integration Act, but they'd already proved their fighting spirit when first called upon to serve 30 years earlier. In 1918, during World War I, Opha May Johnson was the first of 305 enlisted women in the Marine Corps Reserves. The Marinettes filled clerical billets to free a man to fight for active fighting in France. In 1919, after the war was won, all Marinettes were issued separation orders from the Marine Corps. 25 years later, women were back again to free a man to fight once more. The Marine Corps Women's Reserve formed in February 1943, and unlike in the previous World War, more than 19,000 women Marines filled duties that went beyond clerical work. They worked manual jobs such as parachute riggers, mechanics, and radio operators. Following the end of World War II, only 20% of women remained in the reserves.
Pearl Harbor forced the United States to declare war and enter the worldwide conflict. On September 16, 1940, President Roosevelt signed the Selective Training and Service Act, requiring the registration of all men between 21 and 35 for a draft. With a good portion of able-bodied men being sent off to war, many jobs were left that needed to be filled. To entice women to try new jobs, Rosie the Riveter was brought to life. Unlike World War I, women played a more prominent role. Women like Colonel Ruth Cheney Streeter, the first director of Women Marine Reservists, Captain Ann Lentz, the first commissioned officer, and February 13, 1943, officially opened enlistments for women. The first woman to join was Private Lucille McLaren. Within a year, the Women's Reserve went from 4 women to nearly 15,000 with over 200 assignments. End of the war came more drastic changes for women. Society feared that there would no longer be jobs for the returning men, and women were encouraged to return to their rightful place. Many women did not take kindly to that. Women like Annie Graham from Detroit, Michigan, the first African-American woman to enlist in the Marine Corps.
Everything they did allowed for greater and greater accomplishments.
With the activation of 3rd Recruit Battalion at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, women began arriving to form the first platoon of 50 women Marines to take a training course for non-veteran women Marines. As women took a lead role in the Marine Corps, the public immediately began inventing catchy nicknames for them. While many of the nicknames were cute plays on words, to single them out as women, like Dainty Devil Dogs or Glam Marines, General Holcomb thought of a more suitable name for them. In an article published in Time magazine on May 27, 1944, he said, "They are Marines. They don't have a nickname and they don't need one. They get their basic training in a Marine atmosphere at a Marine post. They inherit the traditions of Marines. They are Marines." Though World War II led to an increase in women in the workforce and military, it also led to the start of a boom.
The women have earned every MOS that they are in. They have proved that they can do it. They have proved that they are worthy of being in every MOS that we have in the Marine Corps.
One of these Marines who made history and stepped up to a new challenge was Master Sergeant Barbara Delinsky. After an 18-hour flight from the States, Delinsky arrived in Vietnam March 18, 1967, at Bien Hoa Air Force Base about 30 miles from Saigon. When she stepped off the plane, she made history, becoming the first female Marine to serve in an active combat zone. Delinsky originally enlisted in the Marines in 1951. She then worked as a senior drill instructor for female Marines at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, before volunteering to deploy in Vietnam in 1967. She volunteered at a time when she did not think that she was going to get it. When the Corps began to reflect an evolving society in the 1960s, it became clearer than ever to Delinsky that career opportunities were potentially opening up for women in the Corps, and that she even could attempt to request to be sent into a combat zone. When it was approved, she was shocked to say the least, but ultimately enthusiastic for this opportunity to serve alongside her fellow Marines. Delinsky would go on to spend a year deployed in Vietnam as an administrative chief with the Military Assistant Command in Vietnam. She was the first of 36 female Marines to serve in Vietnam between 1967 and 1973. She retired from the Marine Corps in 1974 and lived in Kent, Washington until she passed away of natural causes in 1995 at the age of 66. Dolinsky's decision to volunteer to deploy to a combat zone helped to open the doors for many female Marines at the time and in the future.
I am very pleased that we have come this far. I know I'm a trailblazer. I know I have opened doors for women, and I am very proud that the fact that they have walked through those doors and they have continued to open doors for those that are going to be coming behind them.
You must work hard to strengthen your body, your spirit, and your mind.
Actually, the culminating event for recruit training, it's about 54 hours. They do a lot of physical activity on little sleep. It's a big mental and physical test.
They call it the Reaper, the tallest point at Camp Pendleton. Hiking it is the end of the Crucible, a 54-hour-long, nearly non-stop exercise. The first platoon of female recruits in San Diego history scaled it in full pack along with the 5 male platoons of Lima Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few short moments, you will be forever transformed. Every generation of Marine wonders if this next generation can be entrusted with the security of our nation and legacy of our Corps. Many years ago, General Chester Puller was asked what he thought about the new breed of Marine. He simply stated, old breed, new breed. It does not matter as long as it is the Marine breed. Each and every one of you have earned the title Marine.
Senior drill instructor Staff Sergeant Amber Starosik spoke to each history-making recruit as she handed them a pin with the eagle, globe, and anchor, the official symbol of the Marine Corps. They were now Marines.
I am proud of you. Look at me, always. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Like many in the platoon, Ramey Aldridge of Texas cried, partly from joy.
Felt like a dream that I've been trying to reach, and now I'm here. Felt really unreal. I felt like I was floating the whole time. And now I'm realizing it's real. It was something else to actually call ourselves Marine. It's a gift for sure.
Marine Barracks, Washington stands proud in the heart of D.C. as the oldest post in the Corps. And now, it's welcoming its first female post sergeant major. In a recent relief and appointment ceremony, Sergeant Major Angela Manis took over the top enlisted position on post.
Being a sergeant major coming to this post, it's a privilege, it's an honor.
While her appointment as the first female sergeant major of the iconic installation is historic, she sees it as being a part of a legacy of outstanding leadership.
Being a female, I'm just a sergeant major packaged in a different form. I plan to get right back to the basics and teach Marines about respect for themselves, for each other, and for this post.
The accomplishments recently, they're incredible. They're absolutely incredible. We've seen them break ground from ITB to now IOC. I mean, just only proving the concept of full integration is possible.
My last deployment was as a female engagement team member in the 2010-2011 FET team. The female engagement team's main mission is to help the infantry infiltrate the part of the population that they can't access, which is the women. Things like the female engagement teams were a stepping stone towards, combat MOS opening up to women, and it definitely made history for everyone in our population. As far as equality and everything like that, women have been in combat for a long, long time now, so it's definitely overdue.
Take it on the left foot. Mighty, mighty left foot. Mighty, mighty left foot. Take it. Take it. I got it. She's got it. Knife and Mamaluke, it's the old sword. Knife and Mamaluke, it's the old sword. One bite for me, another for the court. One bite for me, another for the court. Standing proud in our blues. Standing proud in our blues. Meadows prep with shiny shoes. Meadows prep with shiny shoes. Charge my glass and hold it high. Charge my glass and hold it high. Never forget all those who died. Never forget all those who died. To all who fight, semper fi. To all who fight, semper fi. A toast to keep the spirit alive. A toast to keep the spirit alive. Old breed, new breed, near and far. Old breed, new breed, near and far. I said hoorah! Hoorah! Marine Corps!
One word to define Major McClung: fire. No matter the mission, she was ready. It wasn't a matter of male, female. It was a matter of, hey, the mission needs to be done. I'm qualified. I volunteered to do it. That was her mentality. She was the embodiment of being out there, tip of the spear, doing the job in a hostile environment.
95 years ago, in 1918, 300 women joined the Marine Corps. Today, more than 13,800, that's 7% of our force, serve and are an integral part of who we are and contribute directly to our successes. Thank you for your sacrifices, selflessness, efforts, and courage. Continue to do great deeds and endure.
Today, women in the Corps are able to work in a wide variety of occupations, ranging from aviation, intel, ground combat, and other high-stress and high-demand careers throughout the Marine Corps. The first African-American female retired colonel, Gilda A. Jackson, says,
"There have been a lot of changes, and I think they're changes for the good, because a lot of our young Marines, especially our female Marines, they want to be known as Marines, and it's important."